Hey, this is Quayne from A Million Journey to Top 100K. Thank you for returning to our channel. We are hours away from the starting of the game week. The opening game is Burnley vs Manchester City. Today, I will be doing my team selection. One of the best principles to follow before team selection is to watch the media broadcast of all of the press conferences that will affect the player you want to pick. Information is a great commodity when you're playing this game. For example, you would watch the press conference to learn which player is fit or unfit. When you're watching the managers will give clues on who he will select. A popular website we use to get predicted lineup is Fantasy Football Scout. They are the home of fantasy football. Anything you want to know about fantasy football, they will provide it for you, such as player data and match data. Player performances charts and fixtures analysis. They have also collected all the data from the preseason games. Therefore you can use that data to interpret the changes the managers will make during the opening matches. To identify small changes in players' position, such as Trent playing number 6 positions, which means defensive midfield. We know his attacking will decrease if he will be used in that area. Another website that does predicted lineup is DraftHound. We will be using that site during the video. You may be wondering, why would you watch a press conference when all that is said will be released in a written press release? You would watch the press conference for yourself, because many of the written information is not translated as how it was said. From the last draft video we had, we have identified players we could be used to improve the squad. The previous squad had Raya and Flecken as keepers, James, Trent, Shaw, Zinchenko and Bell as defenders, Saka, Foden, Maddison, Luis Diaz and Reed as midfielders, Holland, Moore and Nkunku as strikers. The website we are currently on is DraftHound. If you were watching, I was browsing through the main features of the website. The website is known for their predicted lineup and predicted team points. It also does player comparisons and fixtures analysis. If you look at the bottom of the screen, the website has predicted a low game week 1 points for the team I have picked. The predicted lineup information can be very useful when you are considering picking a player but you have missed the manager press conference and you cannot find any meaningful information about that player first team status. The prediction from the lineup would help solve that problem. For example, Manchester City and Brighton have many different players that could be used to play in a specific position. The algorithm also specified if the player they have selected is a regular starter or if the player is a rotating player. That detail is important because during the season regular starting player can get injured and then the rotating player get the starts, and people will sometimes forget that it's a rotating player, and when the regular starting player returns they normally get back their place. Therefore then creating a problem for your team. With the information there, you will be reminded to change before it becomes a problem. As I browse through the predicted lineup, you can see that DraftHound is easy to use and provides quality tools for you to optimize your fantasy Premier League ideas. It also have a feature on it where you sign up and the website allocates you an assistant manager who uses statistical data and FPL trends to provide suggestions of players for you to choose. Raya and Brentford have negotiated a deal that transfer him to Arsenal. He then have to compete with Ramsdale for the number 1 shirt, but we know that Raya had better distribution and made more saves than Ramsdale. Have a look at their data from last season. The data there correlate with what I have said. Raya completed more short passes and have a better long pass accuracy while playing in a lesser team quality-wise. Zinchenko loses his place in our current team because he did not play any meaningful minutes in preseason, and while he was out, Timber has made the left-back position his to lose with multiple impressive display in preseason matches and in the Community Shield. Although Zinchenko has been a key player in his manager plan last season. This season, with addition of Timber and not transferring out Tierney, it will affect Zinchenko minutes because the manager now has a player who can invert with the same quality. Christopher Nkunku is another player I have watched all preseason, and I also had him in my time all that time. He has impressed me every time I have seen him, but in one of the games he got injured and will be out of action until December. And that was the reason I removed him. His teammate Jackson could be one of his possible replacements. After reviewing the preseason games, I realized that James was not occupying the same advanced position he used to take up under previous managers. Over preseason we have designed many squads to test our ideas. Squads with different selective players. Identifying which player is the best for each price points and which team rotations are in sync. All this hard work combining to give you 15 players who you feel highly proud to own. It is comparable with when your baby take their first step, and today your team will take its first step. The Raya move has created a train of reactions, with Turner moving to become Nottingham Forest starting goalkeeper. Forest was also heavily linked with Henderson from United, but they haven't completed the deal yet, which means Turner, priced at $4 million, will start game week 1. And that's why he is now in many of the FPL teams, because there is still concerns around Areola. Steele is the other pick in the goalkeeper position. He has decent starting fixtures. Some people are concerned about his starting position in the Brighton team, but I think it's his position to lose, and he will start game week 1. The goalkeeping position is not a position you should invest a large amount of your budget on. The position is one in which you try to identify value. Since Fantasy Premier League became mainstream, the premium goalkeepers have mostly produced less points than a 4.5 million keeper if you pick the right one. The key with choosing a goalkeeper: he needs to be making 2.5 saves per match and also be capable to play short and long passes accurately to be able to get bonus points. He also needs to be able to make penalty saves. When you include all that detail in your search, the goalkeeper list becomes a short list rather than the long one it was a moment ago. You then have to use the fixtures to be farther shorten the list, and after that identify the home and away games. Goalkeepers always performs best at home. Premier League and EFL officials will add World Cup-style amounts of injury time to matches as part of directives for new season. 15 minutes additional time in Southampton's win at Sheffield, and Leeds and Leicester in action as part of Championship triple-header on Sunday. The Championship saw overall 30% increase in the game's minutes than normal. Estupiñán is a great pick, and the most of the manager already know he is over 50% owned in the game. He has decent opening fixtures and is very attacking, and under his current manager they play a attacking base philosophy. He is a nail player in the starting 11. Arsenal have easy fixtures, and Gabriel is a regular starting 11 player, and he is decent from set plays. He has scored over 2 goals a season since he has arrived. Harry Kane is Tottenham's all-time record scorer with 280 goals in 435 appearances. Spurs academy graduate set to depart boyhood club to join Bayern Munich. That potential move has put stop to the Kane and Salah debate of who is the better premium asset. Kane was winning that debate because he took up a forward slot while Salah takes up midfield slot, which is more valuable. The best 4.5 million defender is Botman of Newcastle United. He is sure of his starting position and return from the odd set play on a corner from Tripper. The others are not guaranteed a starting place. Newcastle United posted top 2 best defensive data last season. Issa Kabore, £4.0 million, is a cheap defender because he should be nailed and play as a wing-back for Luton. I'm not expecting a huge amount of clean sheets, but with the extra money to spend elsewhere, I think he's worth it. But he will not have any match in Game Week 2, which is a major disappointment. The match was cancelled because Luton Stadium isn't ready for Premier League football yet. The match was Luton against Burnley. Luton also have Bell, who is another great pick. He can play multiple positions, and he also have a great preseason. Another 4 million player to consider is Baldock. He is a professional English Greek footballer who plays as a right back for Premier League club Sheffield United. Born in England, he plays for the Greece national team. He has been with United since they were last in the Premier League. The big debate amongst the FPL community members of who is the best 4 million defender has been solved, with the decision being amongst Bell, Baldock and Bayer. The Arsenal team has improved development-wise under their current coach tutelage. The squad has additional defensive options which will bring more steel to the defense. They bought in Timber from Ajax and Rice from West Ham. He then added Havertz from Chelsea. Arsenal have been adding quality to the team. And when you add, you will then reduce the playing time of the current players, which means they become bad FPL options. The number that you see when we are selecting players is the amount of points the DraftHound algorithm have chosen for that specific player. The suggested points are calculated from the expected minutes and the player potential with the quality of fixture, meaning how easy or how hard that match could be. Breaking news: Harry Kane have been seen in Munich doing his medical. Thomas Tuchel has commented on the signing of Harry Kane. He said, "We are trying to get the captain of the English national team out of England, out of the Premier League. That says it all. It is a huge deal that we are working on, a huge signature that we are working on." Who remembers Doherty? Wolves is in big trouble. They and Julian Lopetegui have reached an agreement to part ways, ending his 9-month stay as head coach. They then went and appointed former Cherries manager Gary O'Neill, who had successfully guided the Cherries to Premier League survival. It will be a big change in the type of football they will play. Please remember to like the video you are watching, so show your appreciation by hitting like. James Maddison data from last season shows that he outperformed his peers. Who are wingers and attacking midfielders? His scouting report shows a lot of green in areas such as shot creating actions and shot total. He took 2.90 shots per 90 last season. He scored 10 goals and assisted 9 from an expected goal contribution of 16. This illustrated that he was overperforming a bit. Saka is one of the key players at Arsenal. He is on penalties and nailed to start. He can be a goal scorer or a goal creator. Phil Foden is what the FPL community will call a differential. He can be a points magnet, as we have seen last season from the first 11 fixtures. He performed as a premium asset when he gets consistent starts, but Pep always have ideas of his own. I think Foden will start against Burnley. And with the extra minutes from the new rules, he can be useful as a substitute also. Under Pep training, Foden has played multiple positions such as on the wings, midfield and centre forward. Rashford is the main goal scorer at Manchester United. The club has added more creative talent in Mason Mount and a centre forward they constantly compare to Haaland. The transfer of the centre forward has helped Rashford to stay in his preferred position of left wing. Rashford will get more big chances to score with the talent that's around him. Mason has an eye for a pass. Mohamed Salah is the king of fantasy Premier League. Since his arrival from Roma, he has been posting over 200 points per season. He is the main goal scorer for Liverpool and he is on penalties. Last season we saw that he can be a creator also. He scored 19 goals and assisted 12 in an off-season where Liverpool was awful throughout and only got back to themselves in the last games. Haaland, what can I say, he is a Scandinavian goal machine. He came to the Premier League and made the league look like a farmers' league. He scored goals from any angle, and with the quality players he has around him, they find him when he makes his runs. He is on penalties. He had more goal contribution than games he played last season. His aim for this season is to break the English top league goal scoring record. Pedro is a player who can play multiple positions. He can play on the wing and as a centre forward. He looked very lively during pre-season and he has added another dimension to Brighton attacking play. He can also play as a second striker. He is on penalties. And his price point has helped to create the team I have. He has completed my Brighton selection. To complete the squad we will need a 4.5 million forward. There are many 4.5 million forward in the game, but only a few will get minutes on a semi-regular basis. The community was on Archer all pre-season, but information have circulated that he will be leaving Aston Villa. If it's for a bottom-half Premier League club, he could be worth a pick. I will be going with West Ham striker Mubama. David Moyes has selected him all pre-season. He is a striker in the Antonio Mole, big and mobile. Mubama scored from most of the chances he got during the pre-season games. And with the extra minutes that will be added to the games, He will get enough minutes to show his craft to convince Moyes' team that he deserves more game time. A 4.5 million striker doesn't have to do anything special to be classified as a value pick. They need to cover your team when you have injuries and produce the odd goal contribution. We have complete the squad building, and have you seen the change in the expected points? We will even optimize our squad more by switching Steele in the starting 11 for Turner and moving Rashford from off the bench. The captaincy is on Haaland, and you can even consider to triple captain him against Burnley. They are a team who he will get many chances to score against, but to be safe use the triple captain chip in a double game week, which we know they will have because they will be playing the Club World Cup. Other captain to consider is Rashford or Saka, but with the game that Haaland has, most of the armbands will be on him. A time to go against his captaincy is game week 2, not this week. That's why we have Sulla in our team waiting to receive the armband for game week 2. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and remember to tune in for the reaction to the game week video.
Please like and subscribe. We are hoping to reach the target of 100 subscribers at the start of the FPL season.